You I don't know what to call it now. You look. I guess
and when
it's
they
fuzzy.
pulled her from the wreck, she looked like this. Remember that scene?
Large Marge sent me.
Large Marge.
I have very fond memories of watching that movie in the theater with my mother. And that scene and the scene where he's in the dark and it's just his eyeballs, going through, had both of us in tears in the middle of the theater. It was amazing. One of my most treasured memories of my mother.
I say we string them up. I say all the things in it.
We hang them and then we tattoo them and then we kill them. Whatever. I say we let him go. No. It's
so many
such
people
a good
have no
movie.
idea what we're talking about right now.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Go watch it right now. Put this on pause. Go watch that, then come back. Definitely come back because we need the views.
So you're not feeling any delay on my, more than usual for me?
Not really, no.
Okay. My computer's doing weird things, so I had to reboot it a couple times, and it was like just being really it was sounding like it was struggling with something. The fans were going, they were like, how that goes.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? I'm looking at my processor. I can't see anything that's actually processing. And I see like myself getting pixelated or something right now, and I don't know. I don't know what's happening.
That's
But you're
strange.
saying it's not. You're saying it's not happening you're not seeing the same thing.
It doesn't look, like
Maybe it'll be an
it's
improvement.
A problem. It could be.
Might
Could
be
be.
an-
Maybe
might be an
pixelate. Yeah,
improvement
it's like the entire Jason is a little bit offensive, so we've pixelated him a little.
He's softer and gentler now.
It's not a complete
he's more
sort of
smooth around the
porn
edges.
pixelation. It's just a slight things. Like he's just a slightly off-putting, so we've decided to step back the resolution just a tad. Yeah.
Until he has that thing removed.
Right.
just
Until
going
he
to-
has addressed the issue.
Yes. Texturize, please. When I was texting you that I was going to be on, I was like, but that's one of my favorite lines from Love Actually is Mr. Bean, and he's doing the whole presentation thing of the like, this is so much more than a package. This is so much more than a gift wrapper, more than a bag. So much more than a bag, and then
The way he says it to him, more than a bag.
and he says, just the blink of an eye. But the blink of an eye and the flashes to flashes. Love that scene.
Rowan Atkinson is just brilliant. And I wish that he was in that movie more.
Yeah. I feel like he might have been, and then they cut out.
Because I've heard the theory that his character is actually some form of angel that is sort of acting as a conscience or like he also is the reason that the plane is held up so that the boy can talk to the girl, and there's like three things where he sort of intervenes.
Is the plane held up? We can't get into the. First of all, we cannot go down this rabbit hole because I could talk about Love Actually all night, and I don't think anyone wants that. And second, because the problem is that. You know me, I have like my critical brain will kick in, and there's so many things that are just terribly wrong about that movie that I love. But I love it, so I don't want to. I don't want to pick it apart. It's like saying pick one of your favorite friends and like let's talk smack about them. Like, nah, I don't want to do that.
But you do that with me all the time.
Yeah, but that's to your face. That's different.
No, I suppose that's true. We'll get Richard Curtis, who wrote Love Actually, in here, and we'll say, "Hey, buddy, what's with Rowan Atkinson?
Why did you do this?" Yeah, I know. Jamie. Oh, love that movie. Anyway.
So, how are you doing, sir?
I got my man cards around here somewhere.
Did you lose it?
Again. Yes.
Knocked it into the shredder again.
I don't know. Today's a weird day.
Yeah, it's
Monday.
really stormy
I'm feeling
day today.
Oh, we got drenched in the Magic Kingdom yesterday.
Did you?
Yeah, like it was like a river running through Tomorrowland.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's river. It was something else, and I just decided to go right plowing through it. And I thought Michelle and Henry and Alex were behind me, but they actually chickened out and went to the side.
Oh, but didn't tell you? Just let you keep going.
Yeah,
huh?
and I just kept going. I'm in the stream. I'm in the middle of the stream. I was like an island in the stream. That is what I am. Anyway,
I can't think of the next line. I drew a blank. I know that it's from one lover to another at one point.
like sail away with me to another world. But it was Tomorrowland, not another world.
Aha in there too.
Ha ha. Yeah, that sort of thing. So I see them. I'm like, what are you? And then they finally do just come across, and so they get just soaked. Now I'm the only one wearing shoes that probably are fine to get wet. You know. They're kind of like these beach style shoes things that I like, and they're all in tennis shoes and socks.
Ooh, squishy foot.
Do you call them tennis shoes? Do you call them sneakers? What do you call them?
I guess tennis shoes, I suppose.
Okay.
Sneakers, trainers, as they say in the UK.
Yeah. In the what?
In the UK. In the UK.
What's that? Oh, the UK. Oh, we're doing that. Okay.
Trainers, yeah.
Are you using your monitor thing? Because you're looking right at me, which is great.
Is it intimidating? I'm sorry.
Oh, God, I hate it. Because now every time I notice I'm looking away, I'm like, look, because this is me looking at you, which is not at the camera.
Right.
And that's got to be really annoying. So I'm going to see if I can. Oh, so much more professional than me. Okay, that's better. That's good. That's great. That's great. Okay, just keep doing that. Anyway, as I was saying, we got real wet, and it was lightning. And you know how I feel about lightning right now. I definitely have a PTSD relationship with lightning now.
From the VO2 Max incident.
Dude, seriously, like, I mean, my family will tell you if we're outside and I see lightning or hear, I'm like, we gotta go inside, we gotta go. Of course, I can be under the flimsiest of flimsy things and feel like, okay, now I'm safe.
So now you got to comfort both the dogs and you during a thunderstorm.
Yeah,
maybe you all need one of those.
Inside
thunder
I'm fine.
shirts.
No, inside I'm fine. All I need is like you could put a little tin roof above me, and I'd be like, okay, I'm perfectly safe now.
Yeah, a metal roof. Yeah.
It's all the illusion. But we had just finished dining at Skipper Canteen in the Magic Kingdom when the deluge started. Actually, it started a little bit earlier. We could hear it. I thought that there was somebody like running a fan or white noise machine or something. I didn't know what it was. Oh, no. Actually, I thought it was like the sizzling. You know how like bacon sounds when it's sizzling? It's like something on the grill. Yeah. That's what I thought I was hearing, like something from the kitchen. And then Alex said, "No, that's rain." I'm like, "Oh." In the restaurant, I'm hearing this. So I'm like, "Oh, okay." Sure enough, it was pouring. I got some nice video of it. It was pouring. And then it was like, it wasn't as close as lightning that almost tried to kill me, but it was close. It was like, flash, boom. Oh. I know. Hey, did you hear that? That guy's name I can never pronounce.
Which guy?
I'm not. Now I feel like I'm not going to say because you're going to make fun. Taika Waititi.
Taika Waititi. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Taika Waititi.
Yeah,
he may be making Flash Gordon? Remaking Flash Gordon?
No, yes. I did not hear this, and this is the greatest news I've heard all year.
It's pretty good, right? I mean,
who better to make that movie?
No one better.
Oh my God!
No one in the world better.
Maybe one of the guns, but this guy, yes, fantastic.
Yeah, they would do. Yeah.
I don't remember which one is. There's James Gunn.
Because you know why it's also perfect? Because he grew. I'm getting chills just thinking about it. Because he grew up with it also. Yeah. He's our age.
Yeah, exactly. He has respect for the material.
Just like Jon Favreau and Star Wars and everything. Yes.
Oh man.
Yeah, like
now I want that to happen now. that I'm not watching it right now is an intense disappointment.
Yeah, I'm just gonna Google Taika Waititi, Flash Gordon. Yeah, you can look it up. You'll see.
Dude, that's amazing.
I'm not just making this up. Yeah, it's gonna be because this is a longer standing rumor, but it was originally going to be a animated movie.
Oh,
but now it's gonna be live action.
Cool,
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Now that's all of the inevitable questions of who's going to play who in there. I have always thought that Gerard Butler would make a great Prince Vultan. He's got that. I mean, all you have to do is watch 300 to see him have that kind of mouth thing going on. I think he would make him fantastic Vultan. Mm-hmm. I don't know who would be Flash though. I mean, we can't do.
I'm hoping they pick somebody from obscurity.
I
honestly.
do too. I don't want to see Chris Pratt in that role. I want to see Chris Pratt. I do not want to see a Hemsworth.
Not that they're not great.
No, but we need somebody else there. I mean, now understand that I dearly, dearly love the 1980 whatever it is 6 I guess movie. But Sam Jones.
Wait, was it? It was earlier than 86, wasn't it?
Was it? Is it 83 maybe? I don't know. It
had to be.
I have no idea. 80s, the 80s one. No, the one that we're all talking about.
The one with the Queen soundtrack.
Sam Jones is terrible as an actor.
Yeah, but that's part of what's so great about it. So campy, you know?
But God, he's awful. The Melody Anderson isn't much better.
This is going to be terrible. Maybe they can get the kid who played young Anakin Skywalker.
No, I don't think he's doing any more acting.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe this is his breakout.
For that guy. Jake Lloyd. Yeah.
Maybe this is his breakout.
As much as I despised his character in Phantom Menace, I do feel very, very bad for him. He got hammered by really bad.
You don't think he's going to come back? You don't think he could come back?
I don't think he could bring it back to acting like with a gun to his head.
1980, would you believe that? 1980.
80? That's definitely earlier than I thought.
Yeah.
Wow, that's Empire Strikes Back time.
What was the name of the kid who played Anakin Skywalker?
Jake Lloyd.
Jake Lloyd.
You'll find that he has dealt severely with massive PTSD and drug abuse and all kinds of stuff. The guy playing Anakin Skywalker did a number on him because.
You mean because of the fallout from it?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes me sad.
Yeah, me too. Right. I mean, you're like, boy, I hate that kid, but then when you find out what happened to him, you're like, oh, never mind. And to a lesser extent, Ahmed Best. I mean, the Phantom Menace ruined some lives, man. I mean, much more than just the fans.
Really?
Yeah, because Ahmed Best and Jake Lloyd both in the Phantom Menace. Both got severely, had to battle depression.
I mean, he was a character. I mean, like he wasn't.
But he had to deal with like some severe depression as well, just based on.
And who else?
And Jake Lloyd.
No, but who else?
Jake Lloyd and Ahmed Best, and then all of the fans.
There's those two. Oh,
and then everybody that was hoping that movie would be good.
Oh yeah. He suffered from a lot of bullying.
Yeah, poor guy.
I mean,
so I feel for him.
Yeah. Boy.
I mean, he got into some trouble with the law and stuff too. I mean.
Oh.
He turned into kind of an.
My name is Patrick.
But I mean, I get it.
I mean, don't we all though?
I don't. Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Especially if you deal with that. Sad. I mean, I don't condone that, but I certainly understand where it came from. Yeah.
Oh, I feel bad.
But yeah,
I've never posted anything on social media saying bad things.
Oh no,
it's really not his fault. It was really the writing.
Yeah.
The writing was terrible.
True that.
Because you had some amazing actors. I mean, the only person who came, like, I mean, I would say there were 3 people in that movie who delivered lines that were, maybe 2 people delivered lines that were halfway decent. Ian McDermott, right? Isn't that his name?
Palpatine.
And Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, when you can't get a good performance out of Liam Neeson.
That's what I'm saying. The things that they made Liam Neeson and Ewan McGregor say were just ridiculous.
They're terrible.
And Natalie Portman, I mean, it maybe should have been a career destroyer. I mean, like
it
was terrible.
It is only
worse
for
than
like
Thor.
the like sort of movement of fate that it didn't,
Yeah.
And rightly so, because she's great.
You're recording this, by the way, right?
I am recording this, yeah.
I sounded like cold sweat all of a sudden. Like, oh no, you forgot I didn't ask, so you forgot to push the button. Yeah, it was just
yeah. I mean, and I mean, we can go into this, but man, it's such a tragedy, and the reason I hate it so much is the same reason I hate the sequel series so much. The 7, 8, and 9, man, they're terrible, and the reason I don't like it is because that's the only episode 7, 8, and 9 we're gonna get, right? I mean, we're not going to go, okay, here's the real ones, right?
Well, you say that.
I know that they're thinking about doing that sort of weird retcon using the time thing or whatever. And I don't
know that they'll actually do that as much as I don't know. I think, there's so much you can't retcon because of the actors. Like Harrison Ford is just never going to do another one.
Well,
and Carrie Fisher obviously can't.
Mm-hmm.
Even Chewbacca is weird.
Nor
now.
would she. I think even if she could.
Peter Mayhew.
He passed away.
It's amazing how much character difference, how much sort of how do I even say that? Like, there's the way he walks, like the new guy, the way he walks and emotes through his body language. It's just different.
Yeah. You can tell it's a different guy in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe, you might be able to go, well, he's older now, and so he's changed. But, it's still like...
No.
But they should have... Here's what... They should have done, and this is what they can do now. Like, if you wanted to go...
I'm sorry to all the people who hate Star Wars who are now...
10, 11, 12 or something, then do what they should have done with 7. And that is set it 150 years in the future. Like, past all of this, don't worry about
you think that's what they should have done with 7?
Han into all of this. Just tell a new story with new characters. Have one of them be a Skywalker, since that's supposed to be our thing, right? We're supposed to be the Skywalker saga
the droids
or whatever.
And Skywalkers.
That's fine. Yeah. And, I don't know, if you want to squeeze the droids in there, go ahead. But
I was more interested, I'm much more interested in the in-between stuff, the stuff leading up to the, resistance being formed. Like, why? What happened?
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah, and I guess
like,
there's
what happened to the Republic? And, like, we never even see it. All we see is, like, one scene, like, this planet that represents the Republic. They're like, there goes the Republic. We destroyed. Did the Republic only exist on those 6 planets or something? Like, why?
Yeah, that they hit with the Bindi laser? Like, I think the more that we don't worry about 7, 8, 9, the better. Because
I rewatched them this weekend.
Oh, did you really?
They were on TV, and I don't know about you. If you're like me, so what happened was, Empire was on. I think. Oh, no, it wasn't Empire. Something else. It was on. I think maybe it was Empire was on. It was really weird. It was on TNT or something, or Turner. Because they have the rights to certain Star Wars movies. Mm-hmm. And I think Empire was on it, and Empire cannot be on the television with me not stopping to watch it. Like,
yes,
you can't,
indeed.
Everything, yeah.
What's not to love about that movie?
I think what happened is then we went out, and then I came back, and I had left it playing for the dogs. And so when I got back,
when you got back, the dogs were like, "Did you know he's Luke's dad?"
Why didn't you tell me?
I
did.
Somebody pooped on the carpet when they found that out. I'm just saying.
Oh, you said we had actually a dog vomit situation going on this week. It's not good. So I got back. Force Awakens was on. 7, and they puked on the floor. And I just started watching Force Awakens.
Yeah. That's the only one I bought.
It kept going. Oh, I own them all because I'm a pushover.
This says a lot to me. This anybody who knows me goes, wow, he hasn't purchased episodes 8 and 9. They must not be terribly great. Because I bought 7 because I wanted to believe. I was like, okay, maybe now we get into new stuff and we'll be good from here on out. I mean, we've told the third Death Star story now. Now maybe we got it out of our system and we can do cool stuff from here on out. No.
I fast forwarded through a good third of Last Jedi.
Oh God.
Anything that happened.
The worst of the bunch. Anything
that happened on that planet, the casino planet.
Oh man.
I fast forwarded through that whole thing, and what's so sad about that is it's all inconsequential.
Yeah, it doesn't like, push the story forward at all. And it brings a random save the animals thing out of nowhere and then resolves it. It in the middle of the story, we bring up this, boy, I wish they wouldn't treat these animals so poorly. Ha ha, we got them and we've revenged them by letting the animals go. Now, where were we?
Are we supposed to think that the kid that the force sensitive kid that we see at the very end of the movie, that's the only reason they connect that, I think, have that in there. Are we supposed to think that he didn't get some kind of horrible corporal punishment from letting them out? Because he let them out of the go
yeah.
And then at the end we see him hanging out with his friends
and force grabbing a broom, and that goes nowhere.
How do you still have a job? How are you not? This place is evil. Why are you even? Anyway,
there's just so much of that movie is just
so sorry. Yeah, so we probably should get back off of this because we've long. Maybe anyone still listening that's all they're interested in. We should keep talking about Star Wars.
Definitely.
I don't know. So, how you doing? You good? You all right?
I'm doing good.
All
yeah.
Right.
We ate at the. I sent you a pin about this, and there should be
You did.
I don't know. We should have a classification of pin. I think. I wish there were multicolored pins in the emoji thing.
Well, we could come up with other emojis that mean the same thing.
This isn't a top level pin. This is more of a sort of a side note.
Well, that's good because this isn't a top level show. So
that's true. That's true. So it would be utterly unsuitable if it was.
That's right.
This is entirely too heady for us. I'll send it to Fresh Air or something and let them talk about it. We ate next door at the Plant Street Market, where they have fantastic sushi place that we love there. And what always kind of makes me laugh is, and I wanted to see if you do this as well, where you place your order at the thing, and then it becomes amusing to see how many sets of chopsticks they include in the bag.
Oh, for the to-go? Like a to-go order?
We assume this is for 4 people, and it's actually just for 2 people, and one of them is me. And it's thanks. A little subtle way of telling me that I'm eating enough.
You ordered a lot. I think they don't want to underdo it. They don't want to underdo it. So we order from a place. We order from the sushi place in Akoi, but it's and this goes against all the rules that I usually have about ordering sushi, because they also serve Chinese, which usually you don't want to.
Sushi is
never
not.
The Chinese. But Henry doesn't eat sushi, but he eats Chinese, so it's a good compromise for us. So we tried it once, and it was surprisingly good.
Was it? Good.
Yeah. So we've ordered from there several times, and what I like about that is I can get sushi and fortune cookies.
Yeah. We don't get the fortunes over there.
And I can kind of tell the same thing from the fortune cookies. See, I see how many fortune cookies did they give us, and that indicates to me how many people they
think
really approve of eating.
For.
Yeah.
How much am I overeating?
But I feel like that's at the other end. Sometimes I get gypped on the fortune cookies. Hey, they only give us 2.
Yeah, and I would imagine that's the cost of including an extra fortune cookie is probably pretty minimal. But
see, I thought you were going in a different direction with this one.
Oh, what were you thinking?
I mean, because I have a whole rant. I know it's hard for you to imagine.
Yeah, this is utterly surprising and
that I have a rant about. I mean. So what kind of chopstick did you get?
Well, we got the you got to break them apart bamboo chopsticks. Pretty standard, standard takeout
yeah.
chopsticks. Yeah.
Sometimes you get the kind that are rounded. You ever gotten the wood? They're still wood. They're still like, but they're not connected. They're like, so they fit in the sleeve, but they're actually like, so they're.
I can't say that wood, I have never gotten
they're
those,
round.
But yeah, I don't remember the last time.
Yeah, I've gotten those sometimes, and those are that's a nice change when you get those. Like, oh, I don't have to break it apart because you ever. I mean, it's like a wishbone sometimes. You're
like one side's got this plug of wood at the end of it, and the other one is shorter than that one.
Yeah, it can be dangerous, right? And then, have you ever seen the people? Have you ever been out to eat with people? And maybe you do this. I don't think you do. I don't remember you doing this. But like, there's people who like, they're like, it's almost like they're sharpening the chopsticks, but I think they're like trying to scrape off the splinters or something.
Yeah, maybe. And actually, that's extremely rude in Japanese culture. You're not supposed to do that.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Because it's basically going, hey, your chopsticks are substandard, and I have to modify them in order for them to be acceptable. And that's not something you want to say to them.
But my biggest gripe, it actually is, I think twice, maybe 3 times I've eaten at Nobu, twice in Vegas and once in San Diego. Have you ever eaten in Nobu?
Nobu, no.
Nobu? Yeah, it's like this very high-end sushi place. Like super, like great.
I don't think
stuff.
So.
It's wonderful presentation.
I've eaten at a couple of sushi places like that, but I don't remember if it was Nobu or not.
Yeah, very expensive. Make sure I see where else they have. It's spelled I think it's Nobu. Yeah, it is. And they have L.A., Miami. No surprise. Where else? San Diego, like I said, Vegas. I think there's one in DC, maybe. So you can't. I mean, you blink and you spend like $200 there.
Yeah.
Right? It's crazy. But the chopsticks that they bring you, they're wooden disposable chopsticks.
Oh, no way.
Yes. And I feel like every time
bastards.
I'm like, what? Why? Like, at the very least, I would expect them to be using like reusable, like metal, like something that could be washed, or better yet, something you could take home. Like something so nice that you'd actually want to take it with you, right?
Yeah.
Like
there's Nobu and like Chinese characters on it or something. Yeah.
Yes. Like, why is this difficult? I don't understand. Anyway.
I don't know. It's like, that's almost angering, It's like the gall.
Yes. Well, this is what I'm saying. That's why we're talking about it, because now you gave me a reason to talk. I buried it deeply.
It's not just ridiculous. It's insulting.
Mm-hmm. Wow. I know.
Wow. Do they give you the fortune cookers with the lottery numbers on them too?
No fortune cookies. No. I get irritated with fortune cookies that don't really give me a fortune. They give me like some
advice or like a stitch in time saves 9 or something like that. It isn't like you're gonna find something. They
usually
awesome.
Do have like British aphorisms in there.
Yeah, they do.
They do. No, yeah. So that was
as good
I thought
as
you
a
were
wink
in a different
to
direction.
a blind bat. Indeed, ni hao.
I thought you were going in a different direction with the chopsticks, but apparently not. Okay.
There are many different directions you can take the chopsticks thing.
Well, yes, there are, including
most of them involve rants that you have, which is fine. That's why you're.
I have another. There's another. Thanks. I have another not even mid, probably low brow pin
that
I sent to you.
Yes, the box of chocolates.
Also food related. Yeah, box of chocolates. I was having a conversation actually earlier today with a friend about this subject, and I was told that this person's parental unit. I'm trying to protect the innocent here. Would sometimes check they would take their fingernail and press their fingernail on the bottom side of the candy, of the chocolate, and from the box of chocolates. They would pierce it with their fingernail to see what was inside. And if it wasn't something like suitable, they would then turn it back over and place it back in the box and move along.
Jeez.
And I think it's kind of brilliant. I mean, like, maybe...
I think it's like breathtakingly self-serving. I poked my fingernail into all of the food you might eat, and I don't want any of it. So
I'm assuming it's a very clean fingernail.
Oh, good assumption.
So I'm based on what I know. I'm assuming it's a very clean. But plus, if it's like in the family environment, it's not as. I don't know.
I still don't want to jam my finger in all the candy.
Well, maybe not all of it, just until you find
one you want.
Until you find. But I'm not here to talk about the fingernail.
Well, because I have just formulated an entire rant on that.
It's a couple of things that's kind of splinter off of this, no pun intended, from the chopsticks, and the first being, I think it's pretty well established that there are maybe 2 or 3 varieties in the box of chocolate that really no one likes.
Yes. Oh my God.
Right.
Yes.
Like, so I need to know for you what would those be in your standard box of chocolates? Not one of those ginormous things, but like a standard box of chocolates.
Yeah, the sort of Whitman sampler kind of thing. Well, I know.
I'm gonna actually, before you start, I'm gonna actually write down my answer, like your answers. I'm gonna write down what I think.
Oh, we're doing kind of a newlywed game thing.
Let's see. Sure. I'm gonna go with this. Hold on. Okay, and then I'm gonna go with I don't even know how to. Okay.
100 people surveyed. Top 5 answers on the board.
That's Family Feud.
Yeah. Not a newlywed game.
Okay, I got these.
So you got yours.
I think, and then I'm going to do an honorable mention.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now it's been a while since I've had one of these things, so like what they're called may escape me. But I know there's one that is like the top of my list of hell knows. And I know that some people are weird and really dig these. But
I feel like you're hedging.
Got to be the cherry cordial. I am not a fan of this. In fact,
that was not on my list.
I think that like any of this that had fruit and chocolate, I don't really dig together in any form or fashion. And the cherry cordial is particularly disgusting because of the sort of oddly milky ooze that's in there with the cherry.
Oh, I never really thought about that, but yeah. I think you got to pop the whole thing in your mouth.
Yeah,
you got to pop the whole thing in your
mouth. And then let it just explode in grossness in your mouth. That's not my thing. And so any other like form of fruity chocolate, like literally fruity chocolate, like they have those ones that have orange in them, and I think those can go straight to hell.
I don't think that I've ever had an orange one.
So let's see the other ones that I don't dig. I tell you what I don't like, and it's kind of an odd thing, I suppose, but I don't like the messenger boy thing. That's just chocolate.
What are you talking about?
In the Whitman sampler,
the messenger boy,
right smack in the middle.
Are you eating the same chocolate? What?
Yeah, you look it up. Whitman sampler, center of each level of that thing is a straight chocolate thing. Then it's got the little Whitman's Messenger Boy logo on it, and that's what it says, Chocolate Messenger Boy. I don't really like those.
But, I didn't even know it existed.
Well, let's see what else. Man, it's been so long since I had one of these things. But,
so I'm 0 for 2 with you because I didn't. I mean, so I'll go through my list then.
Yeah, please do, because I'm having to be reminded about what's in these things.
The first one is that marshmallow one. You know, like the one you. It's not even like nice marshmallow. It's like the kind you bite into it. It's not like a Milky Way kind of like. It's like dense. And
pulls
you have to like pull it apart, almost taffy like. It's like a marshmallow / taffy feeling. It's like, what's that about? It doesn't even taste good.
And that's like almost worse than the like
the chocolate kind of crumples off the outside
gross ones.
Of it.
Is that on paper it looks like it should be good, and then when you eat it and you're like, it's like
no,
my God,
right.
What is that? That is not marshmallow.
I think the problem is that you don't send these back. It's not like you then ship back. What they should be like a recycling thing where they like say, please ship back the chocolates that you didn't like, so we can make note of that, right? And
or send you to a website or whatever and say, have a list of them and like which ones did you dig, which ones sucked.
Right. Okay, the next one is the one
do that
again.
Kind of research.
We should.
Yeah.
My next one is the one that has like it's like a jelly nougat kind of center. Like it's like it's not jelly like salt, but it's like jelly ish. But it's like hard enough to I think to be considered like a nougat thing but jelly ish in the center.
God.
Do you not know what I'm talking?
And what I don't know, but I already it's on my list and I've never had it.
It kind of this would freak you out because it doesn't have raisins, right? But it's kind of like if you've ever, and you've probably never done this, if you've ever had, what were those things called? They were like squares, and they had, what was that called? And it was squares and it had raisins in it and it had something else in it. It was chocolate. Come on, man. Help me out.
Chocolate raisins and
I haven't thought about this for years. I'm googling chocolate.
Hey, were they pretty big squares like this big?
Yeah.
The chunky bar?
Chunkies.
Yeah.
But chunky had something else going on with it, right? It wasn't just
there was like different kinds of chunkies. I mean, you could get a chunky that was just like chocolate and peanuts or something.
Oh, maybe you could. It was just the raisins or something. Anyway, this is gross. So this jelly nougat thing.
Yeah, that sounds awful. I heartily support your dislike of that.
The other thing was the one that has like the pink stuff in it.
Oh, yeah.
What's that? I don't even know what that is. I don't know. Is it supposed to be strawberry? What is that?
It's a substance that fell to Earth, presumably from outer space.
But it has the consistency that the marshmallow should have.
Right. It's like they accidentally did put
like why do you get it right with this? But you add this weird fruit flavor to it, and food coloring. But the other one that's supposed to be just marshmallow like this, you can't make that. Anyway, yeah. And then my honorable mention is the one that's just like it's like walnuts, like chocolate and walnuts, or something.
Chocolate and walnuts.
Yeah, it's like chocolate and like mixed walnuts in there or something. Like, you don't know what I'm talking about?
It's
just
like
kind of like and sometimes they're like erupting from the top, like the nuts are just kind of like sticking out of the top, like.
Yeah, you're not sticking out of the top. That's for sure.
No, maybe we grew up with different chocolates.
Any kind of like a mixture of chocolate and nuts, I'm usually okay with.
I don't mind chocolate and nuts. It's just in that form.
It's just this one is particularly.
It feels
offensive.
like it just kind of phoned it in. They're like, you know what? Here's some cheers of chocolate. It's like they take a
chocolate
messenger
nuts,
boy
here you go, kid.
and throw some nuts in there before the chocolate like really congeals, but not too early because you need to have some that's still sticking out of the top. Yeah.
So it's just more of its sort of laziness.
I do like the truth in advertising that comes with that because at least you can see the you're like, okay, I know what that is. Yeah, I know what that's gonna be.
No pink stuff coming out of it. That one.
But there's some that you get that are really there's some of the favorites you get. You're like, oh, thank goodness. Like the one that has the it's like a honeycomb inside of it.
Mm-hmm.
You ever had that? Those are really nice. Anything coconut, I love it. Not that you get those
me
that
and
often.
caramel. If
caramel's great.
You put caramel in chocolate.
Or the chocolate, like the chocolate in the chocolate, like the creamy chocolate in the chocolate. That's a nice one,
too.
yeah,
like sort of a ganache kind of thing in the middle there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they call it.
Baba ganoush, whatever.
Baba ganoush. It's the baba ganoush of chocolate. What I don't understand, and this is a bit trite, I'm sure, but like why hasn't it become law that boxes of chocolate, that the lids should always have a cheat sheet?
The map, yeah.
Yeah. What is it like? Why? It's not like you can buy them that way. It's not like some say like with map or with the index or with whatever. Like you don't know until you open it up. I dare I say the biggest surprise is whether you actually get the map or not.
Yeah, that's true.
Because the chocolates don't really change.
I think that's why I've gravitated, if I'm doing assorted chocolates, that's why I've gravitated to the Whitman sampler, because I know that it will have that map. Do they always have? Yeah. Those things always have the map. And I don't know if there are other ones, because they have ones that are not the traditional sampler. It's the one that kind of has this sort of cross-stitched looking, cover on it or whatever. But they also have like bigger chocolate assortments that aren't necessarily that particular one, and I don't know if they have the map as well. I would think so, since it seems to be kind of one of their things as a company, but I'm not sure. But the sampler always has that. But then it also has 35 to 40% inedible chocolate in it, so it's also not necessarily getting the best bang for your buck there.
Yeah. Okay. So. I know that's all I got. I feel like I don't know how much so things I would like to know. Number one, how many chocolates from a box of chocolates, like aggregate per year, get thrown away?
Yeah.
Like
and what commonality
there's a single bite,
there among
or maybe a fingernail, and you're like, not eating that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then no one ever hears it back. No one ever gets the feedback.
Yeah, because as far as the company is concerned, you ate all of them. They didn't check your trash.
No one's gonna know.
I can't believe they don't get feedback on this, though. It's like, good God Almighty.
And even if you did, how many people? I mean, just as a percentage of the population, maybe we should do a poll on the Accidentally Derivative Facebook page. Maybe we should do a poll, because I need to know like how many people like these various types of chocolates, because I know that there's going to be some people who like the marshmallow thing, right? There's going to be some people who like the
eventually,
fruit thing,
we're going to get somebody somewhere that likes all of these.
Is it a sufficiently large enough number to really screw over everybody else? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there could be like a peanut butter cup in that spot, and you've put the pink thing in there.
Right. Can we vote on this?
And why aren't there peanut butter cups in these things? Is that like a Reese's patent that or something? I mean,
no.
You'd think that there'd be more peanut butter in these assortments, but I never see one that has anything even closely resembling peanut butter in it.
Nope.
It's weird.
It is weird.
Weird.
It's not just weird. It's
criminal.
I wasn't going to go that far. It's unacceptable,
It's unconscionable.
Yeah, it's intolerable.
It's indefatigable. Wait, I'm off script now.
Al.
I tell you what I like.
Yeah.
Though, is the sort of rise of the boutique chocolatier. That like we have one here at Plant Street Market, and there's one even further down Plant Street. Called Way Chocolate, and that's usually where we go because they've got this amazing whiskey cream gelato.
Oh, they call it Way Chocolate because they're just further down?
It must be. I have no idea. It's the weirdest name I've ever seen for a place.
The Way down
It's just called Way. I'm like, okay.
Like wait, W-H-E-Y or?
No, W-A-Y. Yeah.
Okay.
And next to it is a microbrewery called The Truth, and then next to that is a bookstore called The Light. Protestant humor. But how they have like you can make sort of your bespoke chocolate assortment because they got them all out, and you can be like, I want one of those, I want 3 of those, I want 5 of those, and they have some really, really good stuff that, like, Whitman's doesn't have the cojones to put out, like stuff with coffee in it and stuff with really cool like crystals of salt and stuff in them, and just it's really good stuff, So there's that, and I think that maybe that's going to be sort of it's going to sort of drive out the prepackaged sampler from the candy aisle as we go forward.
Know,
Here's hoping, though.
I don't think so.
Damn it!
What about mixed nuts? I happen to have a can of mixed nuts right here.
So mixed nuts is one of those things that I kind of judge based on percentage of peanut content. I feel like
I'm right there with you, man.
I feel like that is the low effort filler for a mixed nut mixture.
Yep. Okay, so this one in particular, this one has no peanuts.
Oh, see, that's solid.
This is Planters Nutrition. Get it?
Nutrition. Yeah, it's a war of attrition, and it has nuts.
It's a wholesome nut mix, and it's got cashews, almonds, macadamias, with a touch of sea salt.
Macadamia.
So this one's actually very limited. There's only like 3 things in here.
Well, see, that's not bad though. I kind of like that. If you like, a mixed nut shouldn't be so mixed that we have now kind of become this generic nut. I don't know. It's sort of become. I don't know. You sort of get. I don't even know the word for it. You become desensitized, maybe, because there's so many different nuts in there that it's just become this kind of generic nut mashup. And I think that if you limit your nut spectrum, then you are tailoring the flavor of the nut mixture.
I see.
A bit more, and if you put all the nuts in there, then it's just this kind of who gives a rat's ass kind of generic taste. And like if you use macadamias and I don't know, pecans and walnuts, then you got a specific sort of, you got a flavor profile there. But you start putting in other stuff.
Fascinating.
Then it gets less and less distinct. And you want distinct nuts. I mean, everybody.
I feel like I opened the door to a little room where you've been like working very long and hard on.
Well, I happen to have this treatise
funny you should ask.
Up here. It's peer reviewed.
I mean, I was just going to point out that I feel like you can learn a lot about yourself by eating a little thing of mixed nuts.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because like what I found is that, because you're like, oh yeah, I like cashews, I like almonds, I like macadamia nuts. I mean, macadamia nuts are not my favorite, but but they're fine. They're fine, I guess. They're kind of a weird texture to them. They almost feel like they're wet inside. I don't know why I describe it that way, but like. They're like you like.
I can see that.
I feel like it's not dry, but I don't know. But what I find is that you can tell a lot based on what's left.
Oh yeah.
Like this container is half eaten, and it's very clear that I prefer cashews.
Yes. Yeah.
And there's just a lot of almonds left in here. It's going to get to the point where it's basically an almond and macadamia mix.
Yeah.
Right? And then at that point, now I don't know what's going to happen. Like, do I just stop? Or what do I do at that? Because it's like I don't.
You put them where you put the pink chocolates.
It's something I don't like. I guess I don't not like almonds. I like almonds fine.
But there was an excitement with the cashews that just isn't there anymore. The light has gone out of this nut mixture.
It's not fair, but I feel kind of bad. but maybe I shouldn't buy mixed nuts. But the problem is I think they're there as like speed bumps. So because if I just had a big barrel of cashews, I think I would just eat way too much.
Yeah.
Like the almonds are there to slow you down.
Yeah. And rightly so, because cashews is one of those things. There are some foods on this planet.
What is it about cashews? What is it about cashews?
That I have
so
to
delicious?
Just consciously make the decision to stop eating, because otherwise I would eat until they're gone. I mean, even if it's like a Costco 50-gallon drum of cashews, you just find me in the bottom of it, just cashew poisoning or something. I don't know what it is. And it's they don't have to be salted. It's not that. I mean, I do think that they are, whenever they do salt the cashews, they're using some kind of special salt. I don't know if it's like more finely ground or something, but there's something about the salt that they use on cashews that is different somehow than salt that they use elsewhere. And
it's that powdery.
But even if they're unsalted, I just exactly. It's powdery.
Or the best. Have you ever gotten cashews from those old school like nut
the
vending machine things? No. You just like stick like your nickel in the thing, and sometimes you get the peanuts this way too, and you get a little bag. So at the hardware store,
at the hardware store,
at this.
I get my nuts at the hardware store. No.
Oh my god, I'm laughing so hard my back hurts. This hardware store where I worked when I would go there when I was a kid because my father was the general manager there for a long. Anyway, at the entrance to this place in the vestibule now. In the vestibule of this hardware store, this building supply store. It wasn't just hardware; they sold bricks and all that. You walk into the store part in the vestibule. There was this little station. It was like this little it was like three things, glass things with like metal tops and metal bottoms and stuff, and one would have peanuts, and one maybe had like M&Ms or something, and one had, I don't know what the other thing was, maybe peanut M&Ms.
I can't remember
exactly.
It's like a little arithmetic problem.
Maybe it had cashews. I can't remember. Anyway, I remember they had this like little bag. There were these little like little miniature paper bags, like little mini paper bags.
Okay, this is completely foreign. I've never seen this.
Yeah, and you get one of those things, those little bags, and you would hold it under. So you would put your nickel in, and you turn it, and you would have to like crank it twice, like clink. And then clank, right? And there was this satisfying, like, releasing sound. The sound like the peanuts releasing a certain amount, right? And then they would come into the bag. They would land in the bag, but then you'd lift the metal flap up to, like, make sure you get them all out.
Yeah.
And you would dust. You would make sure you get some of that good salty peanutty dust.
Yes, from salty peanutty dust.
It's important to get your fingers up in the thing.
Yes, absolutely.
So the next person that comes along is going to get your finger stuff. Yeah,
because they say that when you eat peanuts out of the nickel machine, you've not only eaten the peanuts, you've eaten all of the people that have eaten the peanuts before you.
I just can't.
I'm thrilled and delighted that this thing takes nickels. I think that's the best part of this.
I feel like I need to find a picture of this. I mean, there's certainly other people know what I'm talking about.
It's possible. I mean, it's, and maybe, maybe I'm too young. I'm 3 days younger than you, so I don't know. Maybe this is before my time.
This experience. I mean, I'm sure there's I bet you can buy them on eBay.
Oh, probably.
I found one.
What? Like on eBay?
Yeah.
How much is it?
I just Google searched it. It kind of operates like a gumball machine. If you remember how a gumball machine works,
sure.
It's kind of like that.
That's what it sounded like.
A triple shop gumball and candy machine. It's available at candymachine.com. Candymachines.com.
Fantastic.
I mean, I don't know how solid this still is. It's probably flimsy compared to what I used to get.
Yeah, they don't make nut releasers like they used to.
Oh wait, you know what's coming back to me?
Uh-oh.
I think I remember one of the other things that was in there.
Zoltan or whatever, the fortune teller guy.
I think one of the other things were those little red things. They're I don't know if those were nuts covered in some kind of red candy-ish thing.
Red things.
Yeah, like red things peanuts covered in red things.
Peanuts covered in red things.
Yeah. And I think the other thing may have been like some kind of licorice flavored thing, because I don't think I like that much. I don't know. I have to find out what was in there. I don't know how I'm going to do that. No one's going to remember. These machines are not cheap.
No, I would imagine not.
This is like a brand new one, and it's $170.
Well, it's cheaper than I thought it would be. I mean, is it? Oh,
really?
Well, that's what we're. Yeah, I mean, if it's
not electronic,
if it's like built to be used by the public, like in a hardware store, I'm sure it's got to be built a lot tougher than. That's why when you see some, like right when movies on VHS first came out, they were like $100 because they were all that super duper heavy duty tape that they were sending out to rental stores, because they're figuring a rental tape's going to be played thousands and thousands of times, and then later they came out with versions that weren't quite so heavy duty, and so they're a lot cheaper if you're just going to use them at home. But I imagine it's going to be something like that. Like if you want to put it up for commercial purposes, you don't want it to break down,
or just to amuse your friends,
and your friends are particularly hard on nut machines. Which, hey, who's aren't, right?
I don't even know.
We all know that guy.
I don't know what happened with this episode. It's so bad. It's so all over the place.
So before we get off of nuts, what is your opinion on peanuts in the shells?
What do you mean?
Do you find that to be more desirable than peanuts that have already been shelled? Like if you're going to the game, going to the baseball.
Oh, that's okay. That's a different story.
Yeah.
See, peanuts in the shell have to be eaten somewhere where it's acceptable for you to just drop the peanut shells on the ground.
They've got those restaurants.
I know, the bars where you can do that. And that's weird. It's weird,
and
right?
I take issue with that.
Well, don't wear flip-flops there.
No, but I mean, like, there's other crap on the ground then too. I mean, it's like they can't actually clean the place, because part of supposed charm of this joint is that it's got peanut shells all over the floor. But it's not like they
sweep them up at the end of the night, right?
At the end of the night, but they can't do it like in the middle of the day, because then they're screwing up the peanut layer or whatever that's causing so much charm.
The shell layer, yeah. So
it's like you drop some stuff in there, and they don't have like a. I mean,
okay, so getting past that, but like, what, you don't feel that way at a baseball game, do you? Like, don't you just drop the shells and you put them in a bag?
No, I put them in a bag because I also know that it's going to be some dude's job to come through here.
Now that I said it out loud, and I realized, like, oh my God, all those years not all these years because I didn't go to the games that much, but like, pretty sure I think we just chucked it on the ground.
Yeah, and
I am the person in the movie theater. Like, I take my stuff out.
I do too. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, but I don't get it. I don't feel like I get enough appreciation for when you're way out, because I stay until the end. I stay until the end because I'm watching all the credits, and so there's like 1,600 people lined up waiting to clean the theater when I leave, right? Mm-hmm. And they see me trucking my stuff out, my garbage.
Uh-huh.
But I don't get any appreciation. I don't get any, like, thank you. Like, I know that I just made your job easier, right?
Yeah.
You could give me like a knowing nod or something.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, I guess they are holding the trash bag, but
no, they're not. No, they put it in the. Anyways,
I always get the people at the end where they're holding the trash bag for the people to dump their stuff, and then they go in with that trash bag and put more trash in it.
I usually say thank you to them. I'm saying thank you. Like, I'll say thank you, right? Like,
sure, I do that too. It's okay, you be nice to folks.
But then I feel rushed sometimes too, which is annoying.
That is annoying. I mean, I have an appreciation for the credits, I guess, that some people maybe don't appreciate just because, you know.
Well, I always hold out hope that there's going to be that end credit scene.
Yeah. And I kind of like that people now, I mean, it's not like you're taking it down and you're going to make, you know, write thank you notes to these people.
No, but it's fun to look and see, and you know, each production company they have the different ways that they do things. Like Pixar always has the Pixar babies.
Yeah, the babies for the show
that are listed on there, and it's so amazing to see. I like seeing not just like where the filming locations were, but also like all the assistants to the assistant people. Like, and in various locations.
Just how many people are working in rendering.
And you can see how many people who are the real prima donnas, because you'll see all these different people who are just specific to that person.
Right. Yeah. How many assistants?
Assistant to Mr. Cater to Mr. So and so. Blah blah blah. Right. Mr. So and yeah.
How many times does this guy's last name show up in the credits as part of a job title?
Right. You're like, okay, I get it. Okay.
I tell you what I miss is
driver number 1, driver number 2, driver.
The credits that would come at the end of like Airplane and like Naked Gun and stuff like that would be weird and funny and just like inserts in there. Like I think Airplane has like they would say like best boy and this dude and worst boy and it was this dude, you know, and like all these just kind of fun credits that if you're reading them you're like, oh, you know.
Well, now they have like the IT team. They'll have an IT like the whole IT team for the different places. Like wow, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, credits have become very, very big. It's always funny to go back and watch a movie that was shot in like the 40s, and the credits is just like the actors, and then
in the beginning, right? And it's just like,
well, and then at the end they're like, these people, you just saw these people act. Bye.
Yeah, the end.
Filmed in Panavision. See ya.
Oh man, that just made me think of something else I was going to say, and now I can't think of it.
Oh, well, I'm happy and sad for you.
Well, there's got to. It's got to come back to mind. Oh, it's really gonna bother me. I may have to call you.
At what point in our conversation did it occur to you?
Just now when we were talking about the movie stuff. The credits or before the
rendering
credits.
Team and the
how did
driver
we get to that?
1, driver 2 for the guy.
How did we get to that?
Throwing your trash away at the theater,
the trash. That was it. Oh yeah.
Doing peanuts on the ground.
Oh. Yes. Thank you.
This will happen to you too, kids.
Peel and eat shrimp.
Okay, and we can throw crawfish into that too.
Yeah, like I feel like that's similar to your whole peanut thing, right? Like
yes.
Why?
Wait, now
why
you've been somewhere where you can throw the shrimp on the ground?
My house. No, I'm saying that.
Okay.
No, that'd be kind of amazing, disgusting, but amazing. No, I'm saying
bold.
That,
it's a bold statement.
Places they'll put it on the menu or something like it's a big positive, like peel and eat shrimp.
Right.
It sounds so amazing. You're like, you're making me do all the work.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, peel and eat shrimp is a mess. I don't want peel and eat shrimp. I want peeled shrimp.
Yeah, and you get people who love them some crawfish, and it's like I love the smell of like crawfish, and I like the idea, I guess, of crawfish. But the thing is just like peel and eat shrimp, you've given me this thing that's about that big, and I'm sitting here going through a lot of manual manipulation of the thing, and like making it, and it's and unlike peel and eat shrimp, this thing is covered in spices. So like you start wearing through
get a little
the
paper
skin
cuts or something
on your friggin' thumbs, and then it starts stinging, and then like I go through the whole thing, and then what do I get for my reward? It's a piece of meat, but that's and then it starts all over again.
You're supposed to suck on the head.
Oh, yeah. Right? You suck the... Yeah, no.
I don't know what that's about.
I'm not sucking brains out of a freaking river creature.
It's just for the It's just the river.
Yeah.
You just suck the river out of the creature.
I was like, but you get the spices. Well, the whole thing's got the damn spice. And here's another thing that I also don't get is that, yeah, these things are covered in those spices. And those are delicious spices, I'll grant you. But you know what's not covered in those spices? The meat that's inside the thing. Because the spices are on the outside of the thing. And it's the same problem I have with boiled peanuts. Boiled peanuts are like full of this, they've got the salty brine or whatever they're in. But you open it up and it's not in there. It's on the outside. It's wet on the inside. You have a wet peanut, but you don't by any means have a wet and seasoned peanut because it's in the shell. You can't shoot, they can't take a hypodermic needle and start squirting that brine stuff into each of the peanuts. That's not going to happen.
Well, no, but it does like if the nuts if they're not shelled, they're in the shell, but if they're I don't know if it's boiled or if they're boiled in the brine, the salt does get through to the peanut.
I guess a little, and maybe it's more of a thing.
If you ever had a peanut that's not salt, not that way, it's a very different experience. You feel like you're Jimmy Carter.
I guess with the boiled peanuts, it's not as big of a deal, but it's just it's so. It's like we've salted or seasoned the crap out of the outside of this thing that we are by design going to need to remove. And it's just kind of funny to me that like this, and then like sunflower seeds in the shells is another one like that. I mean, they salt the crap out of those things, and it's like, yeah, okay.
And then it tears your tongue. I mean, your mouth is just like no good after about 2 minutes of eating sunflower.
So why are we obsessed with this thing that you're having to and you put the whole thing and then you spit out,
and all you get is this teeny little tiny. Tiny little thing. It's the most how does that even work in nature? I literally was thinking, I'm so glad you brought this up. I was literally thinking about this the other day. How does that even work? What is supposed to happen? Okay, you have this sunflower, right? Mm-hmm. Beautiful sunflower, right? And then I don't know, I've never seen sunflower seeds picked from a sunflower, but I assume that these little, those hard-shelled things are somewhere on the sunflower.
They're like those little shellfish.
And then they fall off, and then what happens? Does a bird eat them? What animals? What's happening that they eventually end up in the ground and then growing into?
I can only assume that it's part of the design that shell rots around it, and so it doesn't. That's
what I was thinking too.
Doesn't
that's
sprout
what I was wondering.
for a month.
Or does a bird break it? Does a bird break it and then the inside would get demolished, right?
You would think birds are not exactly precise with their their eating habits. Or maybe it's maybe they just gulp them down and then birds be loving the shells.
I don't know. This is what I don't know. Someone needs to tell us how this works.
Too much food is perplexing.
How do sunflowers even exist in nature? That's what we need to know. Because I feel like they're
how are sunflowers? That should be
they're like the English bulldog of the flowers. Yeah. They just shouldn't exist in nature.
Sunflowers.
They can't procreate. They can't have natural childbirth. They can't they just should exist. They walk 3 blocks and they try to
squirting at another flower. I don't know why that's so funny to me. The idea of flowers reproducing like a mammal. There's another flower.
And they speak now.
Yeah, if they're having flower birth, then yeah, they're gonna talk to you.
Well, this has been fun.
Well, we certainly have a lot to think about.